Good evening. It's the City of Lockport Planning Commission meeting for June 11th. Would everyone please rise for pledge to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a roll call, please.
Yes. Chairman Oxley.
Yes.
Commissioner Baloney.
Here.
Commissioner Peters.
Here.
Commissioner Likens.
Here.
Commissioner Quinn.
Here.
Commissioner Garland.
Here.
Commissioner Wheeler.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve the minutes of the May 14th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Likens, second by Wheeler. Any questions, comments, changes? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Public hearings, there are none scheduled. We moved the Shell gas station from 151st and Archer to tonight. It wasn't a public hearing, no.
No, and they will be in July.
Okay,
Yep.
because we were supposed to have it tonight. Okay. All right, new business, Kimberly, or Lance, whoever's presenting.
Thank you, Chairman. The case before you tonight is case number 2024-007. It's a concept plan for a 385-unit residential development generally located south of 163rd Street, north of 167th Street, and west of I-355, known as Silo Bend West by MI Homes. The zoning map is displayed on your monitor. The subject property is highlighted and has a black outline. The property is located within two jurisdictions: unincorporated Will County, Zoned A1 Agricultural, and incorporated City of Lockport, also Zoned A1. The applicant is seeking feedback from the city prior to moving to preliminary and final development plan review. Surrounding zoning is also displayed, having M1 Limited Manufacturing to the east, O2 General Office for the Prime Business Park to the south, residential Silo Bend to the east, and vacant residential to the north. The subject property is comprised of 3 parcels totaling approximately 109 acres. The land had previously been farmed by the Kohler family. Prior to this proposal, a concept for an industrial business park known as Hillwood Enterprises had been approved in 2015. However, the concept plan expired and the project did not get developed. In 2016, a similar concept plan for a business park was proposed, however, did not get approved by the City Council, and again, the property would remain vacant. Today, there's new interest in the property from MI Homes, who developed the subdivision east known as Silo Bend, and is now proposing Silo Bend West, which follows a similar residential concept, inclusive of varying single-family products. MI will be introducing new products into the community, as well as continue some of the same home series as currently included in Silo Bend to the east. One is a single-family detached home, having smaller lots and smaller homes, approximately 1,700 to 2,100 square feet with 3 bedrooms, and is targeted to first-time buyers. The other is a 2-story rear-loaded townhome having new architectural style. The concept is displayed. The concept plan was submitted. The development will have an average density of 3.53 units per acre. The layout of the proposed development follows a natural gas pipeline easement running north and south that bisects the property. The site plan illustrates a total of 385 single-family homes comprised of the following: 98 rear-loaded attached single-family, so the new product series, 110 front-loaded attached single-family townhomes, 94 7,800 square foot family 7,800 square foot single-family lots, excuse me. This is similar to Silo Bend, and then 83 of the 5,160 square foot single-family lot, which is their new product series. 2 main access points and cross-access are illustrated. One south along West 167th, one north along 163rd Street, and cross-access into Silo Bend. A 3.3-acre neighborhood park is provided, which is planned for public dedication. Stormwater detention has been provided at the south of the development. Trails and bike paths are located along the pipeline and throughout the stormwater detention areas, as well as along 163rd Street and the north side of 167th Street to Prime Boulevard to connect to the Veterans Memorial Trail. A 5.5-acre commercial site is located in the northwest corner for future development. Next, we have the elevations. Elevations are displayed. Representative building elevations were submitted for review. Based on the elevations, there are front and rear loaded townhomes, which will be 2-story, and may include a 2nd-story balcony or porch. Let me fast forward over to that slide there for you. There's also a new home model that MI is introducing in this development, which is smaller 3-bedroom home having the different style architecture. That was the prior slide. And then their classic series. Oh, one more. Their classic series is what you see currently in Silo Bend. Staff requests that the elevations only be considered as representational and not part of the concept plan approval. Landscape plans will be required during the development plan review and will need to comply with city design and development guidelines. And the concept plan shows that a landscape buffer is proposed along the west boundary abutting the distribution center. Engineering has reviewed the concept plan. The development will impact either the Gauger Road 159th Street intersection or, as recommended to the applicant, a new connection to the east. The applicant currently has a traffic study underway to evaluate both locations, and the city has been clear that improvements will need to be made at either location, depending on the results of that study. A potential property owner on the north side of 163rd Street is also aware of this issue and is participating in the traffic study to provide another 159th Street intersection. This is a significant issue that all parties are aware must be resolved to the city's satisfaction and integrated into the development plans prior to submittal of development plans if approved. The fire district concept was submitted to the Homer Township Fire Prevention District for review. The fire district has no comments or concerns at this time. And the concept plan was also shared with the Lockport Township Park District. They're favorable towards the location and size of the proposed park and will work with MI on design as the project progresses. And the concept was shared with both School District 33C and District 205, which is Lockport Township High School. The districts have no comments or concerns at this time. And then last, the recommendation is displayed. Should the commission find the concept plan for the proposed 385-unit single-family residential development acceptable, the following motion is suggested. A motion to approve the concept plan for a single-family residential development subject to the following conditions. 1, the applicant acknowledges that staff has completed a general review only of the concept plan and that a more detailed review will occur with submission of a final development plan. Staff comments at this time are general, intended to outline steps necessary if the project moves forward, and to provide guidance and considerations for future submittals. 2, the property will need to be annexed and rezoned upon approval of the concept plan. 3, a special use permit for a planned development at the time of subdivision plat and development plan review is needed. 4, The applicant acknowledges that recommendations of the improvements necessary for the roadway conditions north of the site to 159th Street, either at Gauger or new intersection, is required to be integrated into preliminary final development plans. And 5, concept plan approvals are valid 1 year from the date of approval. Approval of a concept plan provides the applicant reasonable assurances to move forward with the submission of a development plan. The development plan shall be in general conformance with an approved concept plan. This concludes staff's analysis. The applicant is here for presentation.
Good evening. I'm Caitlin Chuck with the law firm Rosenova and Whitaker on behalf of MI Homes, and with me this evening I have Greg Collins with MI, and I have Doug Shannon, our landscape architect. By way of background, MI Homes is a well-respected national builder that has been building homes since 1976, 15 years of which have been in the Chicagoland area. Their corporate philosophy is to treat the customer right, and over the past 40 years, they've become one of the nation's most trusted and respected builders, and they've become the second largest home builder in the Chicagoland area. In fact, some of the towns that MI is building include Naperville, Homer Glen, Plainfield, and many others, and as Kimberly mentioned, we have Silo Bend under construction, being sold, widely successful. With regards to the property, the site is approximately 109 acres located south of 163rd and north of 167th, immediately west of Silo Bend. As Kimberly mentioned, a portion of the property is zoned A1 in Lockport, and the remainder of the property is zoned A1 in Will County, so we will be seeking annexation to Lockport, and upon annexation, we will work with staff to ensure that the zoning designation is appropriate so that it's properly zoned to reflect the proposal before you. Accordingly, as Kimberly mentioned, we're proposing a 385-unit residential development comprised of 177 single-family homes and 208 townhomes. The unique part about this community is that there will be 4 different distinct neighborhoods catering to 4 different types of buyers in all stages of life. So this is totally new and completely different from anything else that MI has ever proposed. We're looking to build upon the success of Silo Bend next door while addressing the city's request for product diversity. With that, we'll be offering a new single-family product on 43-foot wide lots, which is geared towards those first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers looking for new construction at a reasonable price point is virtually unheard of these days. Obviously, the market is very competitive, so we're trying to reach that buyer. We'll also be offering the traditional single-family home option on 65-foot wide lots geared towards our move-up buyers, and then we'll have those 2 different townhome products geared towards the first-time home buyers, singles, people in transition, and also the move-down buyers and empty nesters. The development will accommodate up to 1,540 parking spaces if you include the garage spaces for each unit, and then we will also provide on-street parking because we understand, for guest parking, I'm sorry, because we of course want to limit the instances of on-street parking. So I was referencing the guest parking, sorry, my mistake. In addition, there will be an abundant amount of open space incorporated into this community, so this includes 13 acres of stormwater detention, which will create a nice passive open space for the benefit of the community. There will be native improvements that will improve the ecological function of the community as well. A multi-use path is going to be proposed throughout the community that runs north and south along that pipeline easement, and then there will be an approximately 3.3-acre park dedicated to the park district and centrally located. This space is planned to be passive and active. This will act as a general central gathering place, linking the 4 distinct neighborhoods and creating that unified community that we're looking for. In addition, there will be some landscape enhancements incorporated into the plan. This includes a fence and landscaping along the western property line to buffer the residents from the distribution center. With respect to access, the community will efficiently distribute traffic. So as you can see here, we're proposing access to the community from 163rd and 167th. This creates a new thoroughfare between these 2 heavily traveled roads. In addition, we're incorporating 2 access points into Silo Bend to the east. So this is logical and good planning in order to link the resources between the adjacent subdivisions. Turning to architecture, as I mentioned, we're proposing 4 different neighborhoods for this community. Again, very different from anything MI has ever done in the past. And we think this property presents an excellent canvas for that in order to build upon the success of Silo Bend and continue that success here. So This new single-family series will be located in the northern portion of the site, and it comprises 103 lots. Again, this is a unique housing product designed to accommodate a 30-foot wide detached home, targeting towards those first-time home buyers in this super competitive market. So there will be 3 to 4 floor plans, with each floor plan offering about 3 elevations, creating architectural diversity, of course, throughout the neighborhood to make sure that we do not have so that we're maintaining anti-monotony. The homes will range from 1,700 square feet to 2,100 square feet. They'll be very efficient and provide a lower cost new construction option for that single-family detached home. As I said, many people are priced out of new construction in today's market. There will also be 74 single-family lots located in the southern portion of the site. These will be more of MI's traditional 65-foot wide lots that can accommodate 40-foot wide homes, the standard 2-car garage with available upgrades to the 3-car garages. MI plans to offer about 7 floor plans to meet the diverse needs of buyers, and again, provide anti-monotony and an interesting streetscape throughout the community. Next up are the Charleston townhomes. They will be located in the easternmost neighborhood of the community. So these new townhomes will be located where there will be direct vehicle connection to the adjacent pod of existing Charleston townhomes in Silo Bend. So we feel this will ensure consistency for the transition between the 2 subdivisions. We're proposing 21 buildings of the Charleston townhomes with 110 units. The floor plans will range from 1,500 to 2,100 square feet and includes 2 to 3 bedroom configurations, 2 to 3 bathroom configurations. Important to note that the N units also will include a first floor master suite, which is intended to serve the needs of the aging population. Once again, showing there's really something for every buyer in this proposed community. Lastly, we have the Lincoln Square Townhome Series. These will be located along the western portion of the community. There will be 21 buildings comprising 98 units. There will be 2 different floor plans ranging from about 1,400 square feet to about 1,500 square feet. Both floor plans include 2 to 3 bedroom units with 2 bathrooms and a 2-car garage. These will be rear loaded, and this series is particularly unique because the configuration has the primary living space being located on a single floor above the garage. So we will, of course, continue to work with staff to ensure elevations meet the city's design guidelines. And we look forward to working with staff as this project progresses. So with that, we'd like to thank you for your time and consideration. We're excited for the opportunity to bring this project forward, and we feel it'll be a great extension of Silo Bend. So we are available for any questions you have.
Your name again is?
Caitlin Chuck.
Caitlin, first off, I was just made aware that we've got a letter from a resident on wheatgrass. Are you aware of this? That they paid a premium price for their lot? Anybody know anything about this?
Yeah, I was informed today, Lance, and then someone sent me an email this morning regarding lot premium. Again, I don't know all the details. I mean, I can say that when it comes to lot premiums, everyone pays a lot premium. So the details of what were explained, I believe that there's a farm field behind, so therefore someone paid a lot premium to be on the farm field. I'm not sure of the details of the conversation.
That's what I'm getting out of this letter, but, and they couldn't be here tonight. But again, if you build next to a vacant field, you can expect something's coming.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say, I mean, without having a one-on-one conversation with the actual person who sold that home and with that resident and what was actually discussed, rarely is the case when there is an open field that we're going to tell someone nothing will ever be built there. That's the number one rule that we do not suggest when we do open these communities. My guess is, especially in townhome environment, which this is,
Yes.
an interior unit would pay less of a premium than the end unit.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And if the end unit or interior unit back up to another townhome building, they'll probably have a less of a premium than the person who's backing up to, even if it is open space at the time, they don't have someone behind them. They're going to probably pay a higher premium than the person who's got someone right behind them, they can see it. So
Right.
it's tough to discern exactly what was
Well,
discussed.
I mean, it's very ambiguous, and it's just like, okay, I just wanted to bring it up to make sure you're aware of it, because you'll be hearing from them, I assume.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, just as long as you're aware of it.
Sure.
All right, questions, comments?
Could we just get a little bit more clarity on the necessary improvements to 159th? Are they suggesting that widening of Gauger or another access point that goes from the far eastern side all the way up to 159th? And is there any way, have we also discussed potential of traffic calming procedures on 167th as a potential solution there as well?
Yeah, so as was mentioned in the staff report, there is a traffic study underway. That would be a requirement of our final development plan, but we asked them to get that started earlier on in the process because at a staff level, we do have concerns about the loading at Gauger and 159th Street and making sure that we are responding to whatever traffic this development would add to that intersection. There is a developer who's pursuing the two long parcels that are directly across 163rd Street. They are participating also in that traffic study. Their parcels go all the way up to, with the exception of one lot, to 159th Street. So we do believe that there could be an alternative where there is a new intersection added at 159th Street, but that traffic study is going to help us determine what that is. And as was mentioned in the staff report, that needs to be resolved before this can move forward into preliminary or final, because it's that important of a component of this development. As far as 167th would go, that is under Will County's jurisdiction, so it's not really City of Lockport. We don't have much say over it. It will likely look very similar to what you see at the existing intersection to Silo Bend. I don't know if they'll connect the turn lanes or not, but that will be a part of that, and an intersection study will be required as a part of that traffic study once we get to final as well. 163rd Street, we've started those conversations with them as well. It'll be all about the left turn lanes and where those occur, and then widening it, probably similar to what you see again at the existing Silo Bend intersections, although it may include the north side of that street as well. We are working with them to make sure that a bike path can get across 163rd Street to connect to the Veterans Memorial Trail on 163rd. There would still be a missing link in front of the UPS building as that is there. So the city may need to play a role and to make that last connection. On the south side on Division Street, that will be able to be connected at that intersection to where the Veterans Memorial Trail kind of swings around to the west to go under the viaduct that's over there.
Perfect. And then, yeah, no, that I think that answers. Oh, the development to the north of 163rd, I know that's in very preliminary. Is that residential or commercial, or do we not know yet?
It is proposed as a senior living facility. So that's what we know at this point.
Okay, thank you.
They have not submitted anything for a concept plan yet.
Thank you.
With the 159th Street access, McNaughton was the original developer on that property, and they had a contract on that property east of Michelson's,
Right.
and they were paying a monthly dividend to them, but that obviously fell apart.
The challenge with that location is that it's now a median. And so that was all happening before 159th Street got designed and widened. So that's why we are trying to look for an alternative that's a little further east, that's still within the spacing requirements that IDOT would have as it relates to the median length. So we think that there is a viable location that could occur on that eastern leg. We just need to refine that as we go through the process.
That was right at the top of the hill, I think,
Yeah.
that first parcel there.
That intersection will likely be a right in, right out of some sort, I'm sure, once that development goes through.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last thing that I had was the commercial on the far northwestern portion of do we have, what level of commercial are we looking there? Is that more like we're looking retail, lighter use, or could that theoretically end up being some office or something along those lines?
Greg can probably talk to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in working with staff, initial concepts and ideas were, given its proximity, it's not at a controlled intersection, it's mid-block, right? It can be a lot of different uses, right? So I think crafting uses that, one, are compatible with our particular land use adjacent to it, but also providing, part of the conversation was, you have, pockets of what I call like incubator businesses, where sometimes they're overhead door type of establishments that could be from window tinting to the baker to a karate studio. I mean, it's a flex area that someone can start a business when either current rents in a strip mall are too expensive, or maybe it's a C-plus level strip mall that's a little bit too old and dated, and these new higher ceiling type environments, and you've probably seen them in different
Yeah.
cities. You probably even have.
But
them,
that's,
right?
yeah, and 5.5 acres probably isn't large enough for some sort of a warehouse or anything along those
Correct.
lines. Just, because I know when you'll get the questions from the residents, such as the people that
Right.
emailed about these. So,
Light uses that can
Yeah.
spray to different fields, but not be intrusive on the particular use that's there. Like, nothing heavy in terms of automobile, working or manufacturing, nothing like that.
And as a positive, as the owner, they're able to identify what their preferred use is, and if the future developer brings them something that won't work with their neighborhood, they can not sell it to them. And so it's really in their benefit to be able to manage that sale so that it benefits their homeowners.
thank you.
Mr. Likens? Kyle? Janine? Matt?
Generally, since this is a new concept and, this design in particular, when you're saying first-time home buyers in the new construction side, or like, what are we looking at, like, general price tiering? Like, how is that delineated, and, I mean, do those have basements on them, do they not, are they slab?
Right. Exactly. I mean, one of the approaches, and Caitlin was addressing it, and it's one of the things that is a little bit unique in that we don't have an opportunity. I mean, I'll use Silo Bend today as an example. Physically, that property was oddly shaped. I mean, Lance knows, he helped us plan the damn thing. It was an odd shaped deal. We added some real estate at the end to create a distinct neighborhood with the townhomes on the western side. So we made that work. That's 92 acres. So from our standpoint, we had the ability to, open up 2 stores, right, to really differentiate the product within that community of townhomes and single family. So this site, now a rectangle. Okay, we can work with that a little bit easier in terms of land planning. We still physically have to deal with, the road connection issue that we're all over the place, the gas easement, and stormwater detention, where that needs to go, my surrounding land uses. I got nice transitional uses from the townhomes to the east, and then I've got some warehousing to the west. So all of that played into then saying, look, let's not only continue what we did at Saddle Bend, but not continue that just with the Charlestown townhomes and the single family that you see out there. Let's also address some product diversity to even provide and we've just designed what we call this Lincoln Square townhome. And it's a rear-loaded 2-story, which is unique in and of itself, that lives as one level, and it gets a square footage down to around 1,500 to 1,400 square feet, 2 and 3 bedroom units. Because we were finding that with the Charlestown townhomes that we were building out there, some of them get up to 2,100 square feet. So, and on average, we're like just over 1,800. That right there is a nice, generous sized townhome. So you were pushing price points up into the low 4s. On average, we're probably high 3s, but when we ended up selling the 92 townhomes, we had some that were in low 4s. So, and I remember when we opened up the single families, a lot of people balked at some of the pricing that we came out with at the time. It was like, holy smokes, this is a new, genre of homes that we kind of surprised ourselves. So we were transacting well in the mid 5s on average, and we've got low 6s all day long out there. So understanding that, it was also, and we're designing, so these are conceptual elevations. We're designing all new for single family, slab, smaller square footages, but a single family, so that it's an alternative to, someone doesn't have to go into a townhome per se, but can't afford a larger single family, and yet you can get a nice single family floor plan that really works well. A lot of us larger builders over the last 5 years are now recognizing that the cultural bias to say, I have to have a basement is not true at all. There are folks that will legitimately say, I need shelter, I need a price point that makes sense for me, and I would like new construction. the basement, don't need it. We found that with townhomes. It was always, for the last 10 years, it was basements need townhomes, or or townhomes need basements. No, they don't. So it's an opportunity where here you can create, with the size of the property, distinct neighborhoods, and from an entry level, someone who can start at, a single person, a young couple, a divorced, single income folks, that there's a lot of those. We're looking for a place to live in the community. They can start at 1,400 square feet. They can end up, if they move up, at 3,300 square foot single family home, or vice versa, move down from that 3,300 square foot home into a townhome or the smaller townhome. So it was an opportunity to do that as well and address the marketplace. So unique in that we had the opportunity to do that.
For some,
What's your price point?
So you're going to have on the high end, high fives. On the low end, we're probably with the Lincoln Square series. We're going to try to, best we can, from the low to mid threes. So it's impossible to get a 2 in front of any number anymore. Those days are over.
just as a little bit of context, one of the things that the council has been talking about for quite a while now is the cost of new homes, and how do we be a part of the solution for, re-engaging entry-level buyers. If those of you that know where Parker Ridge is, out at Division and Gauger, that was one of those entry-level type properties. Their lots are 40 by 100 as the baseline for those. That was, honestly, personally, that's where we built our first house when we came to Lockport. And it was one of those that we could afford at the time, and it gave us that opportunity then to continue to move up into the community. And so we have encouraged MI to think a little bit creatively about how we can integrate some of those products. I think Greg would probably say I went across the country with MI's products to try and find some that they currently offer that would be of benefit to us here in Lockport, as far as reflecting some of those values that the council has conveyed to us on Lennar's project, on even Silo Bend back then, on some of the other ones that we have continued to have come before us. And so this certainly wasn't an attempt to try and build the highest end neighborhood that we could in town. It was really an attempt to try and encourage a developer to think creatively about the different price points that can be offered and the different types of units that could be offered within a community to try and hit a number of different preferences.
Your right-of-way exhibit shows numerous private drives and private streets. Who pays to maintain those long-term, plows the snow and so forth?
Yeah, the particular private drives that you note are in the townhome, so the most dense neighborhoods. Everything that's in front of a single-family home will be public, and those will be owned and maintained by a homeowners association.
It would be very similar to Redwood. So Redwood has all private drives. They provide their own snow plowing. They provide their own repairs, and things like that.
As Lago Vista is.
Sagebrook Townhomes.
Sagebrook Townhomes.
So there will be a homeowners association that,
Well, there will be a
There will
homeowners
be.
association to own and maintain those particular roads.
okay. Does MI Homes own this property or have an option to buy it?
Option to buy.
Oh, do we own this? No, we are a contract purchaser. We have the option to buy it.
Okay, that's, and the property in the northeast corner, or the northwest corner, do you have an option to buy that too, or that's completely,
The commercial,
right?
the entire plan that you see is we have a contract to buy that property.
Okay, thank you.
To clarify, Bill, according to the engineer's report, the streets in the townhome area will be built to the city standards. Lago Vista is not city standards, and that's always been a contention point, because once those roads start, they're gonna have to pay for it, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
What size are these homes? Is it Greg or Craig?
Greg, G.
Greg, with a G, okay. What's, square footage is one thing, but what size are they? Are they 30 by 40?
For the, which ones?
The single family and the 45-foot lots,
Those will be 30 feet wide.
and how deep?
You're ranging from 50 to 55.
Okay. Because I'm concerned with rear yard setbacks, front yard setbacks, because we have this issue coming before us several times. So your 120-foot lots, or your 55 and 40? Okay. 95, yeah. What we've had with some developments is they come in for a swimming pool or gazebo, they can't do it. And that was one of my concerns. The 20-foot front yard setback, I don't like the 25s, but that's me personally. It's in our zoning code. Yeah.
Do you have any sense for whether there will be restrictions in the HOA for the smaller lots, like pools in particular?
I mean, in terms of, I mean, we can work on some kind of restrictions. I mean, the challenge always is that you're now offering a single-family
Yeah,
lot, so
right.
people, their mindset is, great,
Totally.
I've got a little yard that I can work with. Sometimes by virtue of the physical limitations of the yard, some things can or can't be put in that yard. So, you know, from a lot grading challenge to, you know, the rear yard setback.
Right.
I mean, that's something we can work on.
One other question. That's all I have. It's, I'd like to see bigger lot sizes myself, but I know where you're coming from. I don't agree with the lot sizes and the setbacks on the front yard and the rear side yard on the corners, the 20-foot.
And we could look at that, the corner side yard at 20, yeah, we're gonna look at 25. I don't think that really affects the geometry much.
Okay. Okay, any other questions, comments? Anyone from the public wish to speak? Sir? No? Okay. Hearing none. Hearing none, accept the motion. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the concept plan for a single-family residential development, subject to the conditions 1 through 5 as listed by staff in our memo.
Second.
We have a motion by Likens, a second by Garland. Do we have any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
This is before.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner Garland,
Yes.
Commissioner Maloney,
Yes.
Chairman Oxley,
No.
Commissioner Peters,
Yes.
Commissioner Likens,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. This goes before City Council, Lance?
Yes, it'll go on
July,
July 17th, because we do not have a council meeting on July 3rd.
yes, yes. No. Okay,
Thank
thank you very much. Do we have anything under old business? Citizens to be heard? Chairman's report, Commissioner's report, going once, twice. Motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Oh, Lance.
I do have a staff report.
Oh,
It's a very
sorry.
quick one. It's one of our classic Will County cases. This is for a project that has cropped up. We were required to submit any objections by this morning. And so we did bring it up at City Council last Wednesday to get their input on it and ask for their permission for the mayor to submit a letter in objection to the project. It is a semi-truck terminal and repair bays on the northeast corner of 355 and Archer. It's not within the city's boundary agreements. It's actually in Lamont's boundary, and they share that with Homer Glen. So we are in support of Lamont and Homer Glen's ability to determine their own future fate. We are supportive of their objections to the project, as well as our concerns for overall semi-truck traffic. If you add another, I think they had 150 semi-truck parking spaces on their property, as well as the repair bays that would likely come from all different directions to be able to service them. Our concern, obviously, as it has been for years, is our 9th Street and State Street intersection and the volume of trucks. I just updated our counts from IDOT's traffic counts, and we now have 2,800 trucks per day going through that intersection. It was 2,200 2 years ago. So we've added 600 a day because of development on the west side of the valley. So it is a significant concern for, I know, the city council, and I know all of you as well. And so we felt comfortable, and the council felt comfortable submitting an objection. We will have on the council's agenda next Wednesday an official resolution, which the county has requested. If we are going to make an objection, it will be a signed resolution from the city council, signed by the mayor objecting to the project. It will join Homer Glen, which is doing the same, and Lamont, which is doing the same as well. So all three communities. Hopefully that will get the county board's attention and be able to help us prevail in that instance.
Lance did convey that to me a week and a half ago, 10 days ago.
Right.
And I was of the same opinion. That property's, Homer Trees, as you're going towards Lamont, Homer Trees on the left, you go over the interstate, it's on the left. Is there a healthcare thing or something there, or something, there's a sign there for,
Oh, yes.
Back behind all the trees.
yeah,
Yeah.
back in the trees, but
Mhm.
that's where it's at. So,
Right.
but we don't need any more trucks.
No. So I just want to let everybody know about that, so that were aware that that was out there and that we were going to be we did submit a letter of objection this morning, and we will be following that up with a resolution. Their plan commission meets next Tuesday. They asked for everything to be sent to them a week prior to the meeting. And then the land use committee meets a week after that, and then the county board meets in July. And so our resolution will go to the county board, and if it makes it to the committee as well.
I think Nate Washburn is their attorney representing them.
Mm-hmm. So that's all I have from a staff standpoint, but I wanted to make sure you were all aware.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Motion to adjourn. Moved by Likens,
Second.
Peters.
second by Peters. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.